All right. I'm going to get started here so we can get in, get out, and get ready to go. Welcome back. This is a packed house, and it's exciting. We just had a meeting for about an hour and a half with the most dedicated staff in the state of Wisconsin, for sure. Coaches meeting to go over all the little things. And we started out the night talking about this is like day one. We are the face of Superior, more importantly, Superior High School right now. And as we go here, I would really just like to invite you to really kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Whenever we're talking sports, whenever we're talking Spartans, we are representing us as a community, as a district, as a school. And it's been a pleasure to be able to lead this for the past few years here, and to see just how we've been growing, and every year, every day we get better. So continue to remember that. The tough days, the hard days, the days where we are traveling way more than anybody else in the state to do what we love in playing sports and doing activities here. So welcome back. I know some of you don't really want to hear that, but it's time. It's go time. So all the hard work, everything we've done, it starts now. So these QR codes, as we go on here, these links, this one especially brings you to our website. It's not polished. I know it's not. It's kind of clunky at times, but it has links to important information. So this slideshow will be linked there. That's where you can find it. You can find our registration, a lot of things. Obviously, if you ever have questions, you can email myself or Nicole in our office, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can to get going. I'm not going to go super in depth on a lot of these slides. Again, I think being here is step one to show that you're here, you're committed to being the best you can be. A lot of this is things that we need to go over to show, hey, we do have policies of an athletic code that the state requires us, but then us as a district are going to hold you in these seats to a little bit of higher standard, because you are, rewind 5 seconds ago, you are representing us and our district and our community. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of stuff in here. There are links that I am going to ask you to look at, but there's also links in here that when you register in our website, you're saying that you've read and that you understand. Okay, so this is me highlighting some of it, but once you register for a sport, you are all agreeing and saying that you've read in depth and understand what's going on. Okay, so this is just another presentation that can show you a spot to find that information. All right. The WIA is our governing body for athletics in the state of Wisconsin. And there are rules that we have to follow. And those rules come from the National Federation of High School Sports. Okay, so we all kind of have this trickle down for fairness and equality throughout our sport, throughout our country. And that's kind of what we follow with the WIA. There are rules that you might not agree with, that we might not agree with, but we have to follow them just as we do in life, right? One of the big things is, as a student athlete, you are following our code of conduct 365 days a year, okay? Whether you play 3 sports, whether you play 1 sport, and it's not until the spring, or maybe you just play a fall sport, you're following this code year-round, okay? Sportsmanship is a huge push, okay? We all know why. We all have social media, phones, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things, right? We know why sportsmanship is a push, okay? Sports, especially high school sports, can get a very bad rap very quickly when we decide to act unprofessionally and unsportsmanlike, okay? So when I stand up here and I say that I am extremely proud to be from Superior because I know that we do things the right way. I mean that, okay? And I know that some people might not think that, or they might be rumors, this and that. I know that we're going to do things the right way. And being sportsmanlike and being appropriate at events is number one, okay? I just am going to ask that you read through these, all right? You're showing respect for everybody involved, okay? Another thing that it's hard to sometimes wrap our head around, but the officials, the judges at our contests are human. They have jobs outside of officiating. They're not getting paid a ton of money to do it, okay? I'm going to ask that before we start yelling, screaming, have opinions that we want to share, you think about that official's family, their brother, their sister, their mom, their dad, their daughter, their son, their niece, their nephew, okay? You're not yelling at an official in stripes. You're yelling at a sister, a brother, a dad, a mom, a cousin, okay? They're human. We all make mistakes. They make mistakes. We don't have to agree with them all the time. But just make sure we're thinking that. And I think that's a big one that really comes out most of the time. So officials are humans too, and we have to treat them that way. The other thing is there's absolutely no tolerance for treating, yelling at, screaming, opposing fans or opposing players who are high schoolers. Let's keep that in mind too, okay? So high school sports, this is not me telling you don't make a sound when you're at games. This is me saying we need to be very supportive of our own Spartans. We're cheering, we're yelling, we're screaming as loud as we can for them. We don't need to degrade others in the process. As I said before, zero tolerance for poor fan behavior. Any speech or harassment that is insulting, demeaning, or hurtful toward any human will result in removal from the game and future games as determined by administration. This is a quick video that was shared to me by one of the programs we use as coaches to further our development of coaching the humans and the athletes, okay? A quick thing, it is directed as parents, family, supporters of our kids. A good refresher just for all of us to listen to. We're on backup sound here, so I really apologize if this blows it out, but we're going to be really careful.
Parents, what's the most important thing you can say to your child after a tough loss, game, or performance? Or you may have a list of motivational quotes that come to mind or some well-intentioned phrases. In the end, it's unconditional love.
I had a summer where I played basketball when I was like 10, 11 years old. And here I come playing and I don't score 1 point the entire summer. Not a free throw, nothing. Not a lucky shot, not a breakaway layup, 0 points. And I remember crying about it, being upset about it. My father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm going to love you no matter what. Wow. That is the most important thing that you can say to your child. Because from there, I was like, okay, it gives me all the confidence in the world to fail. I have the security there. But to hell with that, I'm scoring 60. And from there, I just went to work. I stayed with it. I kept practicing.
So here's my challenge to you. How can you express your unconditional love to your athlete this week and give them the necessary confidence, freedom, and security to give their absolute best in every situation without any fear of failure or somehow losing your love? And that's this week's Empowered Men.
All right, so a video that I hope resonates with some of you. It's okay to fail, right? It's okay to lose. How are we dealing with it? Are we blaming others? Are we blaming coaches? We're blaming officials, blaming teammates? Or are we going to make solutions and work to get better? Okay? I've said this before. I said it last year in these meetings, and I think it's powerful to say it again. Family members, parents, people that are at home, please don't make life harder for your child by contradicting and degrading publicly what their coaches are saying. We're not all going to agree. Coaches are human, no different than officials, okay? But when you come home and the first thing that we say or anything that we say to our kids is contradicting of play calls, contradicting of placement, what runner is going where, who's playing in what tennis spot, that makes it really hard for the student to then go to practice the next day and try to figure out who to listen to, okay? Just be cognizant of that. Your student athletes hear everything and they can pick up on that. So I know we're not going to agree with everything. I hear that. I know that. But please just be mindful that our freshman through senior aged young adults have to then try to come back to practice and figure out, ooh, I know my parents said this last night, but coach is saying this. What do I do? Okay? That's not going to help us in the future. It's not going to help us do better. That's not going to help us win more games. So making sure we're thinking about that. We're the face of the Spartans. We're going to do the best we can. But we are dealing with high school athletics. And our main goal is to develop humans and be better, okay? So when we talk about parent communication, our coaches are going to talk about this in a bit too, but I also am going to piggyback on this is high school athletics, so playing time is not guaranteed equally to everybody, okay? Coaches have the right to make decisions, and that's their prerogative. You might not agree with it, but the communication should be there. Here's what's playing, here's who's playing, here's what we're doing. And then those communications first can come from students if they have questions or what's going on. Second, if a student's still concerned about it and the parent wants to talk, it would be a meeting with the parent and the coach. And if there's still something that goes on beyond that level, then there can be a meeting with myself, a parent, and a student if we need to go there. But that first off is that communication that needs to be there from coach to student, from student to parent, from coach to parent. Okay, it is expected that the communication is going out that way. So when we get into our meetings here, making sure families that your coaches have your email address, all right? That email address is primary communication in our district. So make sure you're not relying on the coach to pull it from Power School. Make sure your coach is getting it from you and vice versa, so we have all that signed up. Just some general eligibility stuff. Again, this can all be found on our website, but there's fees for our activities. There's a list of those fees. They will also be assigned in Power School after about the second or third day of practice. So some of you might go home right now and want to pay a fee online. It's not available. It won't be done until rosters are set, especially those that don't start until the 19th, okay? If you have questions about fees, you can always email our office. We can help you out with that. There are reduced free fees if you are on reduced lunch and free lunch. So if that's something that you qualify for, please email me and we can work on that too, myself or Nicole in our office. This is a big one, but just because we pay a fee, it does not guarantee playing time. Okay, that's not what that fee means. We want to make sure that that's paid before the first game, so we can get going. And that's money, obviously, that we rely on to travel expenses, coach expenses, supply expenses. So that money is important to keep us moving and keep us going. There is always questions about how to pay online through the parent portal. This link down here will take you to our website that has directions of how to sign on, how to log in, and how to pay through that. You can also bring a check or cash into the activities office, and that's another way to pay too. Again, questions, bring them into us, and we can help you navigate from there. Online registration. This is something that must be done before an athlete can participate in practice, tryouts, anything. This is that information that we get general emergency contact, we get the student's name. This helps us in looking at eligibility. If there's a student with a transfer, or if you are new to this district or new to this school, make sure you can come talk to us, make sure you're registering online here. You also need physical exams. if you have any question about this, and I won't even do it justice trying to explain it, but if it really is every other year, okay? If you're wondering if the physical we have on file is good for this year or not, please just email us. That's going to be the easiest thing. This April 1st date is not set by us. It's set by the WIA. It's super hard and clunky to try to navigate, but Nicole's really, really good at navigating that, and we can get you answers back really quickly, okay? Academic eligibility, okay? We follow the procedures. If students have any E's in the most recent grading report, then they will be starting the 15-day days out of competition, okay? Again, it is listed here underneath that second bullet point. Fall season is a little bit different, but if there was a failed grade in the spring semester, and this is for students entering 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, if there was a failed grade at the end of second semester last year, that carries over, okay? If you were in summer school and got that credit recovered, that wipes it out. So once the seasons start, once we get lists, then we run grades in our office, and then we talk to the coaches and say, hey, this student is not eligible for 15 days, or actually fall sports is a little different, but you can see that there, okay? What I'm trying to say is the same thing you've heard 1 million times. You are student athletes, and your grades do matter, okay? These are the required by the WIA rules. Your coaches might have more strict rules, and as long as they communicate that, which they will, those are the rules we're following, okay? Some coaches might do their own grade checks. All right? Our coaches are, many of them actually, more than we've had in a long time, are employees of this district, so they understand our grading systems. And those that aren't are very good at learning and being very familiar with our standards-based grading, okay? We don't just pull up the grade book and see an NEE or nothing added and assume you're not doing your job, okay? This is that communication piece. So our coaches communicate with our teachers communicate with our coaches a lot. If there's a concern, our coach will get an email from a teacher, okay? That's that relationship we have. Our job as coaches is to make sure that our student athletes are doing what they need to be doing inside and outside of the classroom, okay? So these are just the bare minimums of our rules. Your coaches might have more strict rules, and that's supported by myself in our district too. Student attendance is extremely important, okay? Without going into the hundreds and thousands of research articles we have, if a student misses school, they are less likely to get good grades, less likely to graduate, and do all the things. Every single one of you in this room as student athletes are going to miss enough school this fall semester because of the sports you play. You are expected to make that work up and talk to your teachers about it, okay? I'm going to say that one more time. If you know you are traveling to Hudson tomorrow, it is your responsibility to talk to your teacher today and say, hey, you're my 7th hour teacher. I've got to compete in Hudson tomorrow night. I'm going to miss 7th hour class. What do you need me to do to get ready for class the next time I'm here in 2 days? Some of you will miss more time in class than others. That's how the sports go. It's where we live and it's what we do. But it's your responsibility to be in class every second you can that you're not on a bus traveling for school, okay? And more importantly, that next morning when you're really tired because the bus pulled in at 11:30 p.m., it's not excuse for you to be gone that first hour, okay? Families and parents, I'm going to challenge you. Your son or daughter might be tired, okay? Sending them in and excusing them first hour because they came home late from Hudson the night before is not setting a good precedence, and know that we have certain amount of days that we can allow those excused absences, okay? So I'm going to challenge you, the day after a competition, when son or daughter is sleeping in a little bit extra, that might take a little bit more push, but we have to be the face of this school. Everybody knows who we are as athletes, okay? Everybody knows you were in Hudson last night. That has to be where we push through and really come in and show that we're dedicated to being student athletes, okay? So making sure school is priority. We're not taking time off just because we're athletes. We're going to come in and work harder because we're athletes. There are a few things in our code of conduct that we need to talk about, but again, by signing up for sports, by completing your registration, you are consenting and saying that you have read the entire code of conduct and you know all these rules. It is linked in the top bullet point here, it's linked on our website, and when you register, it's linked in there too, okay? A few of the big things. There will be consequences if you are caught with illegal substances, if you are proving to have unacceptable behavior that is unbecoming of an athlete, and if you have any felony charges or convictions, okay? Our administration group, our deans, our counselors, we work very closely together to identify students that need the most help, and if that student's an athlete, it might fall under these categories. There will be penalties, okay? Again, we don't need to go super in depth with it, but if it's your first offense, you will have 10% of the season, or you can serve 15 hours of community service to make that code and complete, okay? There are penalties that you have to sit out per WIAA rules, okay? Tobacco, alcohol, vaping, it doesn't matter if it's your first offense or not, you still have to sit at least one game for that. That's the WIA rule, okay? Everything else is set forth by our district and administration. Again, I need you to make sure you reference this. You're making good choices, you're doing the right thing, and then we never have to deal with this, okay? You are the face of our school and our community, so make sure we're making good choices on that. Transportation travel guidelines, we still have a couple people that may have been here during COVID when these were different, but just a reminder, there is no situation where students may drive themselves to a game, okay? Transportation has to be provided by our district transportation. If there might be special situations where we need a parent to drive a student, maybe they were on a college visit, maybe they had a work obligation, maybe they had a family obligation, and they're down in the Eau Claire area, and can I please just drive my student down the road to the game? Yes, but that needs to be communicated ahead of time, and we have a district form that we need you to fill out, okay? Parents may transport their own students, okay? Parents may not transport their student and their best friend, okay? Parents may not transport their student and their cousin, okay? It has to be parent transports their own student. Again, if you have any circumstances that you feel that you need to talk to me about, please let me know. Talk to coaches and myself. But this is so that our students are safe. They're under our umbrella and taken care of. We just obviously our number one priority is safety. At this point, I'm going to invite Tanner and Megan up. They are our athletic trainers. I can't say it enough how lucky we are to have 2 athletic trainers on staff. They are not always both on staff, so one of the biggest things that we're going to really focus on this year too, I shouldn't say they're not always on staff, they're not always in the building at the same time, okay? So communication with the 2 of them is very important. If you ever have questions about health, safety, injuries, please email both of them at the same time, or you can talk to the coaches and they can get back to us as well. So Megan and Tanner are just going to chat really quick about a few processes, and if you have questions, we will definitely shoot them an email too.
All right, I'm Megan. Megan Russell is my new name, but my school email will be using my maiden name, so if you need to contact me, use that name. This is my second year at Superior. Just a couple things about the athletic training room. Usually Tanner and I are here by 3 o'clock. Sometimes things come up, we're not here right at 3. There should be a schedule on the door or next to the door that tells us if Tanner's here, if I'm here. We have a whiteboard if we're at a game or practice. We'll try to communicate our best if we're on a field, practice, games. If our door is closed, we're probably not in there. Our office is located down the main hallway as the same locker rooms as the team locker rooms. If you're a new athlete, have a coach or other athlete that's been here show you where our office is. If you're not injured, athletic training room is not a place to hang out. Just gonna make that clear. Parents, if your athlete's injured at a home game, we will assess the injured athlete first, and if they get pulled from the game, usually we'll look up in the stands and try to find you, or your athlete will point you out, and we'll chat with you and kind of walk you through what the next steps are. Athletes, if you're injured at an away game or practice and we're not there, come find us the next day and fill us in on what's going on. And then parents, reach out if you have questions on injuries. Both of our info's on our door with cell number, email, so reach out if you have questions.
I'm Tanner, still. And I'm going to talk about our favorite thing, concussions. So SWAY is the thing that we use, the concussion program test that we used last year. Still using that. SWAY tests are good for 2 years. So everyone who took one last year does not need to take a new one. So that means only freshmen and new athletes. It's not on here, but I'm still going to talk about it. If a concussion does occur, it's a 4-day return to play process. Most of you know it, but I'm going to go through it anyways. It's a 4-day process of 24 hours after no symptoms. They go through 4 days of generally increasing their play and their cardio. So that way that by day 4, they are playing full practice. After that, they are cleared. We are going to try to be a little bit better this year about communicating with parents regarding concussions. We diagnose your athlete with concussion. We shoot an email to coaches, to school nurses, so that they can let their teachers know. This year we'll try to come up with something about including you so that you are aware that your athlete has concussion and, what do you do in regards to that. So we will work something together this year about better communication with you guys regarding concussions. And yeah.
I think as parents, family members, not all of us experience having athletic trainers in high school at our events, at our practices. It's really important to know that we are very, very fortunate to have Megan and Tanner here and able to be that person that can diagnose our students if there's something going on. It doesn't require going to the doctor to urgent care or anything. So we want to use them, but we also know that they are busy and they've got a lot going on. So if you as an athlete have questions, they check their email a lot. Make sure you're up on that, and families, you can email them as well. Just a few nuts and bolts before we're done here, and we break out to our specific sport rooms. Again, registration link, QR code. If you have not done that yet, make sure you do that. Football is our first sport, and they start tomorrow. If you are not registered, you cannot physically play and do things with the team tomorrow because we have to have information. So make sure you're doing that. This is a good reminder for anybody in this room. Get it done now so we don't have to worry about it as your sports start. We also are continuing with our GoFan ticketing system, online ticketing system to purchase. We'll still be taking cash at the door and credit cards at the door as well. There is a 10-game pass for a discounted price on there to try to give a little break for those of you that are going to a lot of events. So you can purchase that online as well. Many of the schools that we play are also using GoFan. It's kind of the WIA, the WIA method, preferred method of ticketing. So there's quite a few schools in the state that use that. So you might be able to buy tickets ahead of time for those games as well. Our school uses Huddle. A lot of the states use Huddle for communication of film. This is something that is very new to me and is kind of coming out. But Huddle Fan app is something that broadcasts the games that we use our cameras for in the gym and on the field. Okay, so anytime we have a competition in the gym or on the field, we use what's called a Huddle camera. Those are automatically getting uploaded to this Huddle Fan app. And so if we are playing volleyball at Hudson and they have a Huddle camera, there's going to be a free live stream up on that Huddle app account. Okay, so anytime that camera's running, it's going to put that out there. Now, this is me saying I don't know any troubleshooting or anything, but I was asked to share this. I think it's a good opportunity for us, for away games, to check there if you're not sure if there's a live stream or not. Many of the places we go have live streams. Not all of them are free. This, I was told, is free. As a reminder, though, most of our home sports are being broadcast by iFan, and we will always share that out. It's a great resource, a great free resource for us if you're unable to come to home events and still be able to catch the game. So just again, information I wanted to share with everybody. This summer, our coaches met a few times to talk together about what does it mean to coach here at Superior High School. And I think it's important to take a second and really kind of see what we as a coaching staff truly feel and believe our role is in your child's life. Because that's what we're doing here, okay? Our coaches are striving to be transformational leaders who are dedicated to investing time and effort needed to educate all of our students. They prioritize caring for the individual first and foremost, with coaching the athlete or student coming second. Our students will experience learning and personal growth during their activities, as we view these as an extension of our classroom and preparation for life after high school. We emphasize the importance of working together as a team and developing leadership skills. While we aim to plan, prepare, and practice for success in competition, we understand that true success is measured by the character and growth of our student athletes. I can 100% tell you that I truly believe every single one of our coaches can live this motto, okay? And it's really important that we understand our goal of high school athletics is really to be making better people and better humans. Obviously, we all want to win. The coaches want to win more than anybody in this room, okay? But their job is to make sure that our students are growing as human beings, just as it's our job that they're growing as human beings in our classrooms and our community as well, okay? Another thing that I think is important to see here is our coaches' connection to our school and our district leaders as we work forward here and starting a new school year, okay? I think it's important to know, and this will be out soon as well, but our school is doing some really great things, and our high school is one of the best, okay? And I truly believe it's not only our coaches, but our staff here every single day are truly caring to make sure that our students feel valued in this building and outside of this building. And our coaches are agreeing to this as well. So whether this is going to be our goal as a staff this year or not, last year it was. And our goal is to make sure that everybody feels valued in this building and out of this building. So student athletes, I'm looking at you. If you ever have concerns that you are not being treated with the utmost respect, you're not being valued by coaches, I encourage you to come talk to me, but really think about what are we doing, what are we talking about, okay? And it's important to know that we do care, and we do want you to feel valued and become the best person you can be, okay? It's going to be a great year, and we're excited. We're ready to get going. Some of you have a couple more weeks of summer left. Some of you have a few hours left of summer. But either way, okay, we're all Spartans in here. We're all ready to go and have a really great year. This next slide is going to show you where everybody's at. Make sure you check in with your coaches to get marked down that you were at this meeting. If you have questions, please let me know. I'll kind of mill around here, but otherwise, go Spartans.
Started something I can't stop.